I heard a good welcome back to Melbourne Strength Culture is number one in the hearts, number one in the charts. I heard a really good quote today.
That was the most.
No, we're going to redo that.
I was getting.
Welcome back to.
I had a story ready to go, and I was starting, and I just plugged that in because you got to do that, and then I'm just going to run with it.
I reckon it's fine. You interrupted your own thought.
Exactly.
It's fine now because we've had a joke about it. If you just went normally like that, it would have been.
I feel like we're really far on this side of the room today. Does anyone else feel we're a bit?
It's because I'm bigger, so I pulled the room over here.
Because I'm over here. There's more gravity on this.
More gravity.
It's all falling apart.
So. I'm an avid listener of the Full Send podcast, and the Nalk boys and all of what they're doing. I think they're doing some pretty crazy things in the world, something that most people have yet to accomplish. I think they're going to be able to do, and they've had a bit of a blow up in their podcast. They sacked one of the co-hosts that started it. His name was Bob Menery. Yeah. He was a little bit of a wild cannon, but they sacked him, and he's cracked the shits and he's gone back to one of his old podcast formats, which is called Ripper Magoo's. and he's relaunched it and had a crack at the Full Send boys, because obviously they've sacked him. He built it up. He helped them build it up, and then we don't know the full story or whatever.
Isn't he the guy that would tee up all the big celebs for them?
Apparently, yeah. He's the one that set Trump up. So he's like, there's been a few AB, Antonio Brown, where he ripped his shirt off, and Bob was the guy that got him, and that was the first public interview with AB after that. And so there's been a few key things. I think he's a bit of a divisive character on the show, but I loved what he brought to the show. I thought it was fucking hilarious. But anyway, he's gone back to his old format, Ripper Magoo's, which is actually the number one sports podcast. Like, he's got a massive fucking following and shit, and it's already back to number one and whatever. But him with all his guests, he was saying that he doesn't want his show to be guest dependent.
Yep.
And I think
that's where we are.
And it clicked in my head because we've sort of been going back. Do we hunt? Like, what do we like the travel stuff? We'll definitely do more of that and more. We just have to. There's just too much going on at the moment. But I like that idea that the show needs to be able to carry itself. So we're back with the boy there. There we go. Long way around, but we got there.
If you're not guest dependent, then you have a show. Whereas if like, you can only make shows when you have a guest, and then what happens when you don't get guests? Like, well, what are we doing here? Like, and of course, guests are great, but like, I think it's good to know that we can roll without it if we need to. And we're rolling. We're here.
We need guests, but
we do need guests.
Like the boyless ones are the most fun for me, for sure. Like, we get they're just fun. It's literally just three of my best mates and just talking absolute dribble for an hour. But I'm curious, who are we going to get on the show next?
We do have one lined up. So
we have one. Okay, cool.
All right.
But outside of that, like always, the people. Who do you want to see? Let us know.
Really keen to go.
Who?
Come on.
Giorgio.
Jamie had a meeting with him on Saturday.
Yeah.
So until you've got three good things to say about health and fitness, then you can come on. But, we need some guests at some point, but it's good. We're having a meeting about the podcast on the podcast.
That's it.
Love that. We've done that a few times.
You're getting some insight into what happens behind the scenes in the office.
Absolutely. We have our comp coming up this week, though, which I'm pretty. I'm actually stressed about. It's probably the biggest cloud of anxiety that's going on in my life.
Why are you stressed?
I don't know. I just get stressed when the
external people coming in.
No, when the gym gets really busy, I get very it's when there's like 100 people.
It's the first time we've said it with this new gym as well.
We're in a new place with new neighbours. We don't know. Like, we used to piss the wine guy off. Remember, with the parking and stuff. Like, I don't know. I've spoken to some of the neighbours, but
I've spoken to that neighbour
next door. Nah. Nah.
Are you going to?
Nah.
Do you want me to speak to him?
Yeah.
He won't be there.
He won't be there.
Speak to him.
I reckon if I have a chat to him,
Cellmec are shut on Saturdays. The mobility place is statewide is shut. But I don't know. I'm anxious about it. I'll just get anxious about it.
I think it'll be all right.
Yeah.
I think it'll be all right.
But we're set up. We're planned. I've learned how to do the stream, which I think is would be a cool one. So there will be a stream. It will be on our YouTube channel. There'll be 2 streams for the day, session 1 and session 2. And that will be something that we haven't done before because we never really knew how to do it, and we just sort of never did it at the old one. But we're looking forward to that as well. I'm looking forward to setting that up.
I'll be consuming the stream.
Yeah, what do you got on, Charles? Bucks.
I got a buck.
Another Greek wedding.
Another Greek wedding in the bridal party.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to Gold Coast on Thursday for Giorgio's Bucks, who inadvertently wants to come on the podcast, but he's Yeah, you're not coming on the podcast. But yeah, we got his bucks. So I don't know if I've got time Friday morning because only half the people are coming up Friday. I was thinking if I got some time, pop into Zero Weakness because I've never actually seen the gym. I would like to. I just got to.
I think he's opening another one.
He is?
I saw that.
He just alludes every 2-3 months. It's just a new color scheme.
It's like a full warehouse of boxes.
Bam! Again.
Money.
Yeah, it's crazy. Good on him.
I'd like to. Yeah, I'll say Friday morning. I wouldn't mind if I can pop in because I think.
Where's the bucks?
Service Paradise.
You're gonna get litty?
Always. Nah, I'll get a little bit litty, but
Liddy light.
I don't know. I don't like getting that litty anymore.
You get
No, I get it's a sensible amount. It's an adult level of liddy.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Like even when I was in Port Douglas with Stupa, so we get a handful of drinks, 6, and I can sort of just
6, 7, yeah.
just shut off,
Space it with some water.
Yeah. But you're terrible.
I'm fucking shit.
You have 4 and it's all over. It's. How was your Saturday night?
Oh, big.
We had our high school reunion.
10-year reunion, 12-year reunion actually.
No one rocked up.
Yeah, it was the
fucked it up.
worst organised thing of. Sorry, Salesian. Like I sing your praises a lot, but it was a terribly organised event. But it was awesome to see at the school how much it's changed and stuff. I know we've got a lot of Salesian people in our community. It was cool to just go back and be around it. Met the new principal. It was good.
We went into the staff room. It's a crazy staff room.
We went everywhere. They've dumped some money. They've dumped some money into that place. It was cool. And then we started drinking at 11:30, and I got home at 2 a.m. And I reckon it's the most I've drunk in one session in about 5 years.
Big one.
That's probably also the big cloud of anxiety that I'm kind of feeling right now as well.
Still on the come down.
Suppressing some
Just
demons.
on that anxiety. Yeah. No, well, I had the biggest drinking session before probably one of the biggest weeks that we've had. Because of the comp, there's just a few other moving parts that in the background that are happening at the moment that are just adding to the workload.
That's why you drank.
Maybe I was trying to get an escape.
It's a vicious
Let's
circle.
get to the bottom of this.
How does that make you feel? Yeah.
So how are you gonna just stim your way through it?
No, I'm trying to sleep. To sleep.
Sleep is
fucking boring.
Sleep is good.
I made
You just gotta feed it.
on my Facebook once. It comes up with the memories, and it came up with this was in the middle of the lockdowns, 2020, when I was right in the peak of my MODAF days, and I said, note to self: you can't out MODAF a bender. I don't think you can.
I had a strategy. That was my Monday. Every Monday I would just stim hard after a big
weekend.
And that was it. I reckon I had the hangover cure sorted.
As long as you get the dosage high enough.
You just operating at a moderate.
There's an inverted U on the Monday.
Okay,
yeah, because you're already anxious off the back end of the weekend. So if you go full stim, then you go full crash later.
Yeah.
Can we just clarify what stims you're talking about here?
Oh, just caffeine and MODAF.
Yeah, caffeine and modafinil.
Just checking.
Oh, fuck, man. What are you doing on Monday? Fucking.
No, just for the listeners. So
For the list, yeah, all right. Not going full junks on a Monday, but
Not on Monday.
It's for narcolepsy. I've been diagnosed.
No, you can't. Honestly, though, you can't out sleep. You can't beat sleep.
You can't
Actual
beat the sleep yet. No.
You can't out the quality that you feel when you've slept well compared to being. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, but there's something about burning the candle at both ends.
There is. And then having a big breakdown.
It's a thrill. There's nothing.
Just wondering, when's the breakdown? When's the breakdown?
It's like, how hard can I run
time
this?
bomb.
How hard until I...
How long until I cry? When's it coming? When are the tears coming?
That's like, the boys who was like Luke Lehman, he was talking about how like his gear usage, like you'd be able to determine like when it's a bit too emotional or whatever, like that's it. That's when you know. When you burn out, you hit that burnout point. It's just like start crying at shit you shouldn't cry about. Like that's it. Love burning the candle.
Yeah,
gotta do it.
I think I need a notebook session, or Marley and Me.
Oh, the movie. I thought you meant notebook like fucking journaling.
No, I've never done any journaling.
Journaling.
No. You used to journal. Do you still journal?
Oh, no, never that much. Sometimes I just feel like fucking
Get the thoughts out.
putting some shit down.
Yep.
I've been really consistent with my reading and my meditation, which I've noticed helps a lot.
Nice.
Like a laser.
Laser. No, I started because I want to read more again. I just want to fucking. So I started with the 10 pages a day. I actually set that target, and I've been doing it for nearly 2 months now, and it's just 10 pages now has turned into like, because you get the 10 pages done, and then some days I'll just 20, 30 pages at night, which I never used to do that. 10 pages used to be like a bit of a struggle. So when you actually sit down and read 20, 30-ish pages here and there, you do knock books out a lot quicker. And I also feel better because I don't now. I go to bed and read rather than watch shows all the way up to bed. It's a nice little. I feel like it's a nice little bedtime routine. That's
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed I do all of the things that we tell people not to do with sleep routine, like just fucking phone until bedtime.
Wake up, your phone's like on your
meal
chest.
at like an hour before bed, like because I fast pretty much all day, and then just fucking punch calories in the PM.
This is the dark side of intermittent fasting they don't want you to know about.
No, that's the thing with the intermittent fast. If you start the window too big, then you binge hard.
Yeah, on the drive-through home
every time.
yeah, because you get super, super hungry.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, you just push that first meal back. You don't get hungry until you eat the first meal, but then when you hit that first meal at 7:30 at night, fuck man, you can bang 3,000 calories quick smart.
I don't know if I told the story on here, but when we did that 24-hour fast, or like we went a bit longer, and I broke it with a cheese board, just fucking slammed the cheese board, and just put myself into a cheese coma. You can't. Yeah, there is a tipping point where the intermittent fasting definitely but it is a good strategy if you do want to reduce the window to consume calories. It can be a good strategy, but like everything, it needs to be managed.
Start small. Start with the 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Start with the 10 a.m. Maybe you just push it back an hour a little
10
bit.
a.m. and then
slowly.
dinner at 7 instead of 11 p.m. Like just
When I'm
shorten
cutting,
that window.
I do the fasting. So I have black coffee, and then sometimes throw in a protein shake, which is obviously not fasting, but I'll refrain from carbs and fats until later in the day just to save my calories.
Yeah, it does make it easier.
It makes it a lot easier, but not till 7:30. I'm talking like 1, 2 o'clock. So it's like virtually the morning, just coffee and water.
Crazy.
All for it. Speaking of sleep routines, I'm a full biohacker now. And
Getting infrared lights.
I got an amber booklight.
I've got that too. It's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's mad. I'm just waiting
What's
for the
it got
fucking...
on the book?
Yeah, it's a clip.
You clip it on.
I need one.
Put it on the
It's so
book.
good.
Malaka.
What is it meant to do?
It's so you can read. Well, there's two things you can. So you can read, but tell us the amber reason, the amber light.
It's just better than white light. Like it's the whole reason like
it's
blue
blue
light
light.
and shit. Yeah. So like standard lights are just a bit too aggressive on the eye.
Reading in the red light.
The reason I need
Yeah,
it
that's it.
is because I wake up some nights and I'm awake. Like last night, I can be awake for like 90 minutes at a time, and I don't want to
during the night.
Yeah, during the night.
Why's
Let's
that?
chat.
Do you have that? What's that?
I think it's
what's
when
that
I've
thing
overslept.
you can't breathe.
No, I think it's when I've overslept the night before.
Need a CPAP.
CPAP. No, I think it's when I've overslept the night before. I'm like, it's almost like I've slept enough. So then like I will wake up and because I feel completely rested the next day. But the issue is I want to read, but I hate.
You don't want to wake do something.
I don't want to turn the lamp on because like it's fucking
That's
bright
fair.
as. So I need like a little book light so I can fucking read.
Yeah, this one's adjustable as well.
There's
It's not just
levels to it,
aggressive because
yeah.
my lamp is one harsh white light.
Yeah.
Nikita always fucking turn it off.
Fuck
can't.
these blue rays
Try
off.
Fuck turn it off,
get it
can't. And then
Exactly how Nikita sounds.
And Nikita gets
Where'd you get it from?
Amazon.
Oh, Amazon.
Yeah,
gives you everything.
big business.
Big business.
Yeah, big Bezos
Bezos.
sorted me out. Amazon Prime is too. It's weird.
Alrighty, we've got to interrupt this program for a second here. The economy's gone to shit, and you're still working in a commercial gym. You've probably got no leads coming through. You're probably sick of speaking to the same people on the gym floor. You got your manager jumping down your throat, asking you where your money is, where's your rent, all of that sort of stuff. The great thing is, our good friends at Get Going have come to the rescue. You don't have to pay rent.
No rent.
No rent, Charles. No rent. They'll get you sales. They've got a marketing team, full sales team that's going to force leads down your throat.
You will have a full bank of clients within minutes.
Waiting for you to change their lives.
What are you doing? Get in contact. First link in the bio. Get Going PT. They'll sort you out.
Get going now.
You can also go getgoingpt.com.au/careers. Let Ethan know your boys sent you. And when you change your life,
You thank us.
you can thank us later.
It's too hectic.
It's
Order it
actually-
and it comes to my house next day.
It's I found out why books are so cheap on those. Like, so when you buy books from Big W, Target, Amazon, like they're literally like half the price because they don't. Books is not the way they make money, so they sell them at cost price. But because people will usually buy a book and then buy other shit as well.
They just want to get you in the store.
They want to get you in
It's
the
just
store.
it's just why the $1 milk or loaf of bread's at the back of the store, because you're going to walk to it and then you're going to pick up other shit.
Pick up other shit.
It's not for the milk.
We asked, because Deuce wanted to buy her next book, and we asked at Dimmicks. We're like, why is it $23 here but like $11 at Target? Can you price match? She goes, I can't. I can only price match with other bookstores. She goes, those big department stores,
suck you in.
They suck because they're not. And they so the idea is that you're not just going to buy the book. You're going to buy other shit too.
But they're so big that you're going to walk past 50 items on the way there.
So it's not.
Hopefully
They
pick one up.
don't make money from selling books. They just sell them at cost price, cover their costs. And
I noticed that. I was on Amazon looking at a couple books. I'm like, well, this doesn't make sense, like how it lines up. But now I just got to make sure that I don't get fucked.
Don't get sucked in.
Don't get sucked in, and then I've won.
Don't let them know that you know though.
Yeah,
like
but
you
then-
can't.
They know.
Yeah, exactly.
They do know.
They know.
They know everything.
The next book, the next book I wanted to read, $23 at Dimmicks, $9. Target, Big W.
What book is it?
It's called Boy Swallows Universe. It's a crime
Big loads.
fiction. Nah, it's a crime fiction book set in Brisbane.
Brisbane.
Drug dealers or some shit.
Love that.
We need to shout
it's
out
Australian
Peter
one, that's why I wanna
Coleman.
read it.
We need to shout out Peter Coleman.
Oh yeah, actually no, I'm reading his book at the moment.
Yeah.
So his book came out Weekends with Matt, with Weekends with Matt, and it's actually a really cool book. I'm really enjoying it. I'm nearly finished it. I think I'll finish it tonight. It's only a couple hundred pages. Nice, easy read. Another example of his book, $22 at Target, $35 at the bookstore. So
That's so cool that he's in Target. That's crazy.
Mate, he was all over it. I went in there and bought a couple.
yeah, it was so. Yeah, it's a really cool book. It's a book. It's non-fiction. Basically, it's a book of Matt owns wineries. Pete is learning about the art of fucking
Grapes.
making wine, and then he, from his perspective, with his philosophy background, comparing the two in terms of how philosophy and wine relate. So it's actually really cool because I've learned a lot about wine, but also a little bit about philosophy.
Didier, we need the basketball update. How'd you go?
It's not a good one. Unfortunately, 3 minutes into the game, some guy fucked his knee, so the game was called off.
Wait,
Just like what? Just out of nowhere, like he wasn't like didn't get hit, like he just like
Why'd they shut the game off for that?
man, they're like, oh, he's in the middle, he's lying in the middle of the floor. They're like, oh, if we
Get him
bounce
off
the
the
ball,
floor.
like, you know, the vibrations. I'm like, surely we just drag him into the floor. And I'm like, look, I feel bad for the guy because he was proper like fucked his knee. Like, I had to call the ambulance and shit. But I was like,
Yeah, but fucking drag him off.
but then-
Drag him
but the thing
off,
is,
man.
we're
Come
here with
on,
one
man.
court. There's a court like 5 meters away from us. I was like, oh, what about those vibrations? They're not coming across.
What do you mean vibrations?
Vibrations. I've never heard of this before in all my years of basketball. Vibrations. was
Who
never a
called the
reason.
game off? The refs?
No, there's the refs, and then there's the person who runs the.
And what time at the night was this? They just wanted to
Oh
go
no,
home.
man! Last game, they
Yeah,
wanted to get
that's
out of
what
there.
I
This
mean.
was
Yeah.
this was at 9:10 p.m. They did not want to be there.
That
Yeah.
guy had to be laughing inside. Like, I'm gonna fucking spin this bullshit.
Oh, legit.
Vibrations.
And at first we thought because he was,
How can
he
you
was
say
a bit
that
of like
with a fucking straight face?
He was a bit of like a troublemaker. Like you can, some people who aren't part of it, you have to like put a number on. He chose 69 as his number. So at first when he did it, we didn't think, we thought he was just taking the piss, and we're like, oh no, this guy's actually fucking hurt. Like he hurt his knee bad. But yeah, so unfortunately the game was like cancelled. We were up, so you know we technically get the win 5-3, but we're legit 3 minutes into the game, so that wasn't fun.
This season's
We're taking a turn,
throwing up some curveballs.
and then next week we're facing the top team.
Oh
so
no!
Recreational sport.
It's gonna be a bugger. But yeah, surely I was thinking if I fuck money, I'd be like, just drag me off, cunts. Like let the guys play. Like they've all waited all fucking day for this. It's 9
Or you should
o'clock.
fuck your knee and then play off the vibrations.
Oh, you got it. Yeah, yeah, legit.
Get all the games cancelled.
Vibrations. So the ball's bouncing on the floor.
But yeah, I don't know if that's a new like kind of like anti-litigation.
Did you ask him for the PMID for that?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about
I'm
to
gonna
say,
bring that up
Get
next
evidence.
time. I'm gonna ask for a citation. But yeah, I've never heard of that before in all my years of basketball. Vibrations affecting someone who's injured. So yeah, unfortunately, no basketball update. That's the update.
Jack's going to be upset about
Sorry,
that.
Jack. Look, I'll score 10 points for you next week. I promise.
Shouts out, Jack. The basketball update is his favourite part of the podcast, so we've got to make sure we hit it. Bouz, what about yourself, mate? How's the foot? How's the ankle?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Saw the man, Dan Gadisi, Evolve Sports Medicine on Saturday. And we went through it. The surgeons, look, they just said some things that I was a bit like, nah, fuck yeah.
Call them out.
And I'm not calling them out.
Give us names. Come on.
No. It was just a bit, how you going? All right, I did more research. Look, I know how to research. All right, uni sorted me out. Anyway, there was not one orthopedic guideline that said do nothing for 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Nothing. And I also felt like the post-surgical sort of thing was a little bit rushed. Like, just get the fuck out of here. We need the beds, which is fair enough. But I'm also like not going to do it 6 weeks. So I contacted a couple sports doctors. They're like, look, we can't actually tell you to do this, but that's a bit how you're going. Go get another surgical opinion. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to start rehab.
Go do stuff.
Yeah, I'm just going to go do stuff.
That's your green light.
That's my green light. So they're like, oh, you know, for legal reasons, we can't actually tell you to do this. I'm like, that's fine. I'm aware of the potential risks. So I'm just going to start fucking rehab and see what happens. If it hurts, and I'll pull it back. I know there was a fracture, so I just made sure that rehab was started outside of the bony healing guidelines.
Period, yeah.
But yeah, saw Dan, as always, thorough. Sent me a proper rehab guideline list through. Man sends emails, and they're dense and they're detailed. But so he'd booked an appointment in for this Saturday or Friday or whatever. I'm like, there's no fucking chance. I'm like, I pulled up the next day from the appointment a bit sore, and then actually did my rehab, and I felt amazing. So
Nice.
yeah, I actually reckon I'm not going to cancel the appointment Friday.
What's the rehab look like? Is it just range of motion stuff, or are you actually doing a little bit of strength work, or
A bit of both. So there's a lot of it's just like knee to wall. Just get it. So there's a pretty big disparity between left and right. At the moment, there's about 14 centimeters I can get my knee to wall, whereas the affected leg at the moment's only about 4. But I reckon you know, I've been doing 3-minute bouts a day for 2 days, and there's already been an increase. A lot of the ankle, the actual calf work is just banded dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, eversion, inversion. And then something that's atrophied more than anything else is like the intrinsic foot muscles. So big toe, the ability to actually like scrunch my foot. So a lot of it's that sort of stuff. Get the towel underneath the foot, scrunch that up, get that going. So doing that. And then a lot of the other stuff is just what I can tolerate, like between the pin-loaded leg extension, leg curls, and then a lot of unloaded, like just for the hip weight. You can't really do stuff for the hip, so a lot of it's like weight banded stuff. That's pretty much it.
just doing what you can?
Just doing what I can. So I'm more optimistic now. It got to a point like last week. I'll just walk around the
being
house.
told
do
that you
stuff.
can't do anything. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. But even like the just moving around, I'm like, I'm fucking over it. Like I'm starting to get a little bit over it. Like mentally been sweet the whole time, but then I'm like, I need
Something.
to be able to take 4 steps because these crutches and this boot is starting to piss me off. But now there's a bit of like light at the end of the tunnel.
Is it true that you went to an event on the weekend and took a wheelchair in? Talk us through that.
All right. So I'm a mega Bonobo fan, Bonobo, however you say it. And is performing. Obviously, COVID, whatever else, it's been 4, maybe 5 years since he's been back. COVID plus whatever. He just hadn't released an album. So I'm like, there's no way I'm missing it. I had general admission tickets sorted. I can't go into general admission where there's people standing everywhere with the boot. So I got them swapped out for accessible seating. I just rocked a wheelchair. So I got a wheelchair. I actually went to a restaurant beforehand as well, and that was it was a different experience for sure. Rocking up in the wheelchair, there was a pretty funny moment at Bonobo. I lined up for the disabled toilets, and someone was in there, and the kid is like, "This guy is probably not disabled. What do you reckon he is? If he's disabled or not?" I'm like, "There's fucking no chance." And this guy opens his door and is off his dick and he just looks at me and puts his hands on his head and he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." He's like, I'm like just stuttering and shit. And I didn't get a chance to say, "Man, I've just broken my ankle. Like, it's nothing more serious. I'm not like permanently disabled, or my disability is not that, you know. It's not a disability. Like, I'll be back soon."
Yeah.
But I didn't get a fucking chance to tell him to like, "Don't feel bad, bro. It's all good."
Rob
Like,
is not.
I get it. Anyway, he just kept going. He's like, "I'm so sorry." He walks behind me, wheels me in.
Oh, he wheels you in.
And then he gets toilet paper, starts wiping the toilet seat down. I'm like, "What the fuck did you do in here beforehand to warrant wiping the toilet seat down?" But anyway, he's like, "I'm so sorry, I'm so bad." And he just walked off like, fuck. I'm like, right, whatever. Like, that's fine. So
Wow.
good on him. But that was that. That was the peak of it. And then also The fucking night itself, like the music was hectic. But I'm up top, like in the accessible area. It's just me and Nikita. There's no one else there. And I just found myself like wanting to stand up, but I couldn't stand up. I was just fist pumping in the wheelchair. I was just fucking sick.
Were you doing some little forward and back?
Popping monos.
Yeah, side to sides.
Just spinning, just pulling one wheel. Yeah. No, I didn't really do much outside of that.
How long till you get the boot off?
Well, look, I don't know. Who cares at this point?
Yeah.
Fuck, the surgeon's not giving me anything. They said 12 weeks in a boot.
Yeah.
I'm done with it.
How many weeks have we been in it?
This is 5 weeks, coming on 6.
Okay.
I'm done with it. Give me 2 more weeks, nail my rehab. I'm fucking 2 fingers up to the competition. No, I can't be fucked. Like it, I think in 2 weeks' time I'll be fine to walk around.
Yeah.
Like if I'm walking now, why am I restricting range of motion when I need mobility? Yeah. It's just for other
Maybe
shit.
just worried if you're gonna if you're in the fucking crowd at Bonova, otherwise, just fucking.
Yeah, well, it's that, but also I get a bit too G'd and I start walking. And then I think the boot is working as a nice little deterrent. Pushing it a bit too hard.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What's this thing?
That's the pump. Like, you know the Reebok pumps?
Yeah.
You pump it up before you decide to jump. Except I can't jump, so it just tightens it.
But it's actually a pump.
Yeah.
I thought you were taking the piss.
It airs it up. No. There's a fucking... It's not just for decoration.
Fucking nice.
You pump it up and it gets a little bit tighter.
Love that.
Bloody beautiful.
Bloody beautiful mop.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Technology.
That's cool. Charles, what's news with you, mate? How's the self-programming going?
Pretty straightforward. Session 1 is squats, belt squats.
So what have you done differently? So when you
go through. Hey, what are the sets of reps?
What have I done differently?
What have you done differently? So when you left Bryce, you were like, I want to try some of my own stuff. What are the things you've tried?
I've done more quad work. That's helped my knees. My knees feel the best they've ever felt. So belt squats and leg extensions and actually training them hard. I feel like that was something that my knees always hurt when I squatted for years.
They have since you played football.
Different. So that was like I had proper, when we played footy, like proper patella tendinopathy, which we rehabbed, got back good. Then they were good for a while. And then I started getting like both my knees here. That got good. We got on top of that. Then I started getting quad tendon. And that's still potentially will linger a little bit. It's the best it's ever been in a while, but because I've been training my quads.
I reckon we're going to become isometric gods. That's the answer. I've just got my program. Because I'm not bodybuilding for a while. I'm going with Grant Fowler. I don't know if you've seen him. If you haven't seen him, he just does fucked up shit. He just takes progressive overload to
Fowler Fitness SPT. I don't know what it stands for.
Sports performance training.
Copenhagen's on the hip thrust machine.
Yeah, metamorphosis. But I reckon that's going to be it. I've just noticed it because I just saw the program today. You load it
on the side.
You roll on your side.
Set up a box with a pad.
And you can load it.
You can load Copenhagen
through the hip thrust machine.
Yeah.
I'm going to need a video.
I need to see that.
I can't even think of that.
Yeah.
It's hectic. Do you have to move the machine out?
No. So you're in the hip thrust machine on your side.
Oh, you're in the machine. Okay.
So you're loading it.
Oh no, that makes sense.
The belt on it. And then you set up a box with a mat on the other side, like that, and you just drop the hip and you just do that.
We're doing 100 kilo.
Jack Edwards at Metamorphosis. He's at long lever hamstring bridges as well.
Yep.
So obviously he's more track and field and sprint stuff.
Shit. You can actually do. I had not even. Yeah.
No, I love these little fucking little tinkers, little bits of creativity in the gym. They're just sick.
Nice.
But something I noticed with his program, Grant Fowler, it's very.
What's a video for you?
Because it's very like sports specific or geared towards sports performance. Yeah. Like you can't. Not all your volume can come from isotonic work just by way of getting fucking sore. So some of the subjective experience of doing isometric stuff is it's less fatiguing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff like, our elbows get busted doing anything. Yeah. So there's a lot of hanging. There's a lot of just dip position, end range elbow flexion isometrics and shit like that. I reckon that's going to be the
low tolerance.
Yeah. So
bulletproof method.
I've always just found with my knees I do everything very controlled. So my belt squats are very slowish tempo. When I say tempo, 2 seconds controlled, pause at the bottom, come up. That's all, and that's what helps with me.
So when you say you've been doing more quad work, is it just the machine stuff, or have you
still No, low bar squats and then just belt squats and leg extensions.
Yeah.
I just like to put effort into my power lifts and then just hammer machines.
Yeah, crunch it.
If I'm going to do 4, 5, 6 hard sets, machines, it's just way easier after doing like 4 hard sets of. And I'm not noticing this maybe as I've gotten stronger, training for longer. It's just I don't want to barbell lift on everything.
Yeah.
But I found with my own programming for a lot of people, if someone's pushing hard squats, to get them to actually split squat the loads they should be split squatting,
It's a big ask.
It's a big ask.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people they'll squat and then split squat and then they're squatting fucking 160 plus and split squatting 25 to 30. It's just like, all right, hold on, let's actually get you working to RPE, and then that's the session. Like if you get, they're so cooked.
You're attacking two things that are very similar, whereas a leg extension and a squat are so different that it's easier to push both of those things.
Yeah, I think if you're really pushing split squats, there should be a fucking main lift.
Well, example, Jack Reed, he was sick of squatting, so we did split squats for a few months, and he got up to like 140 reverse lunges. But we probably wouldn't have done that if he was still doing squats as well. Now we've gone back to squats.
No
but
way.
It just made the space in the program.
Has it made his squats stronger?
Oh, his squats are flying.
Yeah?
His legs have definitely gotten stronger, which, surprise, surprise, when you make the space for the split squats to actually get prioritized, you get something out of them versus doing them as the third exercise after squats and bench or squats and deadlifts. Are you really going to be pushing them that hard? Chances are not.
Like, are you going to want to even push that hard?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
You physically, you just won't. Yeah.
Doing 3 to 4 sets of belt squats after squats is just so much. It feels so not nice. Nice isn't the right word.
Relatively though.
It feels right. Just because there's no axial loading, I don't have the weight on my back. It's around my hips, and I can really push. And you get a sick quad pump, and it's just so much more achievable after doing 4 sets of low bar squats. Because I was the same with Bulgarians. I did like I won 40 for 8 or something, and I know I could do something like that pretty comfortable if I did that first in my session. I was doing them at the end, so I was squatting. This is when the short period we did with the flex guys. I did squats into belt squats, bench into Bulgarians. By the time I got to Bulgarians, I was done. I wasn't even doing the 3 sets, and I was doing like 80 kilos.
Yeah,
which is like nowhere near. And so the stimulus to fatigue ratio I found has been it's probably not something I've learned. It's something that I'm applying more with just machines.
Yeah, set your program up for output.
Because
by the time you get up to that, like that's as junk volume as it gets for you.
It was cardio. It was
literally
cardio.
It was
not
cardio.
actually a strength or hypertrophy stimulus at that point.
And then the other thing that I probably not learn, I'm focusing on is just more tricep and chest and shoulder.
Louis Simmons, RIP, he knew all along.
Shoulder, chest, and tricep volume, building more muscle. Through
these ones,
through these ones, and these ones. Just because I want to bench 180 at the national. It's not a skill thing anymore. It's muscle size.
It's muscle size.
It's triceps.
Just triceps.
It's just triceps.
I love it. Did you ever read like the Elite FTS, like Dave Tate, West Side Influence, like that website, that blog, Elite FTS?
Bigger muscles.
Everything's just fucking. It's just so much tricep.
Yeah,
just so much tricep.
Well, like I said before,
because do you want to know why?
Because they benched in shirts.
Yeah, because they would have benched it. It literally,
it's all shit.
And this is I remember I made a graph once of like some of the influence of the industry, but that Louis Simmons West Side stream, which feeds into Dave Tate, Mark Bell, all those
all came out of
the
there.
West Side. The Lily Bridge sort of strategy, like all of that is so heavily influenced by the mechanics of equipped lifting.
And there's a lot of cues and understandings around training that have filtered down for literally decades, but some people don't realize the emphasis was on those. And yeah, of course, if Charlie's bench hasn't moved and if his triceps haven't grown in a while, probably doesn't hurt to do some triceps, but the triceps being put like literally at the top of the fucking priority importance is because when you're in a shirt, the shirt gets you up about halfway, and then where are you actually doing the work to fucking lock it out with your triceps?
But I love it.
That's crazy.
It is, but I love it.
That's
it's
good.
so mad. It's like
That's
the
good.
answer. Like the answer is triceps.
It's just
for him
so
at
easy.
this point, it's not skill.
It's triceps.
It's like knees over toe. The answer is your VMO. Just that one fucking.
It's that one weird thing.
For me,
I love
it's chest and triceps.
100% muscle,
but also like it's chest and triceps for basically everyone. Like I don't think there's anyone who couldn't use some chest and triceps.
Early days.
Early days.
Like
but once
things
things aren't moving, if you hit
once
the
things
wall,
aren't moving,
It's probably chest and
Early
triceps.
days, there is a big part of it's
For sure.
skill.
For sure.
And people will progress from improving skill for
A good amount of time.
2 years nearly.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's going to be dependent on each individual. But then, muscle size becomes the
Muscle
limiting
size
factor.
becomes the factor for
And that was,
all of it.
That was one thing I pushed. So I had a meeting with Bryce a couple blocks before Pro Raw, and I pushed him. I was like, we need to fucking build more. I need to build more muscle. Like, my bench isn't moving. And I was starting to get demotivated. It's like, it's all good and well, like, to have that attitude of like, you just keep showing up, put the work in. But it's like after a year, it's like, nah, there's something, this is not.
We've got to change something.
This is not working. So I was like, we need to build more muscle. And we hammered my chest like 2 days a week of doing like the good, 8 to 10 sets. So some good volume there, built some muscle. And I finally got a bench PR Pro Raw. I did 175. So just applying the same thing now. I want to be bigger anyway.
How much?
If I'm fucking training, I want to be bigger.
How many tricep
juicy.
sets a week are you hitting?
At the moment, only like 10.
Yeah.
But that's because I had some elbow stuff, spiked it up. But I'm doing 10 like hard sets. Like they're fucking hard sets.
What do you go to triceps?
I love barbell skull crushers. No preacher
Straight bar?
Barbell.
No easy?
Barbell.
That's
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the combo, right?
No. Trust me.
It looks more... It's an alpha movement.
It looks gangster.
It is definitely like
I'll tell you-
this is
Wait,
the most.
hang on.
It's more masculine than the easy bar. That's for sure.
Remember last week we were having the discussion of exercises that you just hate? Like the JM press. Whatever the fuck the JM press
Yeah,
is.
no thanks.
That
either.
sucks. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but there is not a situation
Have
where
you
I'm-
seen JM bar?
I don't know.
Just looking at JM Blakely, it makes me want to do the JM press, but all I feel is elbows. You know when people go, when everyone goes like, and us included, like, you just got to start lighting off the fucking joint to just catch up and whatever else. That never happened.
It never caught up.
My joints never caught up. It was just all passive structures. I did not feel any tricep doing that. You built yours up for a bit, and then you hit that.
No, it was the same thing. Bryce gave it to me, and I was like, I'll try it, learn something new. Again, elbows were always sore. It was always sore, and I just wasn't feeling the fucking I'm just not getting like
because all the
a pump
sensations
after.
in the elbow.
Yeah, I'm just not getting. Everyone's trained triceps or biceps, and you get that pump after. Like,
Crazy
I've
pump.
worked the muscle.
You've worked the bone.
I was working the bone. I was working the ligament and the tendon. And I just wasn't feeling like it was getting for the amount of skill. I also felt like it was a really like high entry level to the skill that you needed to fucking actually do it.
And for hypertrophy exercises, if there's a high skill component, it's just trash. It's just a waste of time.
So I do barbell skull crushers. I just like straight to my forehead. That's where I'm thinking. Forehead, bang,
Just bang. That's all you need to do. Bang.
and man,
Pop.
you get a pump.
Lying dumbbell tricep pullover.
They've gotten the run.
They're the best.
Pull over.
Yeah,
With a little bit of shoulder
So you go into
A lot of shoulder flexion.
But I reckon the key
long
to
head.
it is staying in shoulder flexion and
As you
extending.
extend.
Yeah, because a lot of people, what they do is they'll do the pullover and stretch,
And they'll
but then
momentum.
they end up
Yeah.
extending the shoulder to shorten the
more
tricep.
short
But that's
So you
to
want to?
momentum.
You're trying to load it more in the lengthened position.
more in the lengthened position.
Yeah,
so it's
for
like
sure.
a lying overhead tricep extension.
Yeah. I used to do that with the skull crusher and have my elbows back with the little easy bar, and you sort of push out.
Yes.
Yeah. Instead of pushing
way
up.
better.
Yeah.
because it's just you end up losing
you do
it
that.
as you come into it.
No, you get it's fucking mad.
Yeah, you push
I've done
out.
that before
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Fucking mad.
I'm doing mine. So mine are more to the forehead. So at the moment,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Other one that I've been doing with the triceps is I've like your tricep rope extension. Same thing. Come up,
a little bit of shoulder flexion.
bit of shoulder. So it's the same thing you're doing, just with the.
I reckon you're too wide for one rope.
You got 2 ropes.
You got to go 2 ropes now.
2 ropes.
Nah, I swear to God.
If that ain't a compliment, I don't know what is.
Yeah,
Like,
hey,
boy.
Hey,
Too expanded.
Too AP compressed,
Too
mate.
expanded.
yeah, go 2 rope. Trust me, you got width.
2 rope.
You got width.
Speaking of like progressing, I was listening to a Rebel Performance podcast on ankle mobility, and basically they were in the same like when you got back from Cressy because he did his internship at Cressy as well, James Serby.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
he's
nice.
like, we're doing fucking ankle moves fucking all the time. And then he goes, look, nothing's fucking happening.
Nothing
and they're just
changes,
like,
man.
They just, not shat on it, but they're just like, they started
center
learning
of mass.
center of mass. And center of mass. And I was just like, it's the same progression we went through because we were doing all that shit at the start. And then now you just realize, if you just position the rib cage
gotta-
and pelvis better.
You got to constrain the system to express it. Otherwise, there's certain things that you're just not gonna. You're gonna struggle to improve. Not to say that you can't improve it, and there will be situations where you can and have a big influence. But for the most part, like unless you've had like a traumatic injury, there's just really. Your body moves the way it moves because of how it's managing gravity. You just got to learn to manage gravity.
He's doing ankle mobs because his ankles stiffened up. Mobs.
Mobility.
I got mob ties. Mobs. That's what they fucking say, man. Ankle mobs.
Mobility.
Man, the American accent throws me off.
They literally say mobility.
No, they say mobility. A collab.
Oh, fuck, man. I don't understand.
These bloody Americans.
It's bloody Americans.
Bloody speak American.
But the thing is, I'll be doing this 3 times a day.
Yeah, because you're been in the boot, it's stiffened up.
It's stiffened up.
I'd love to know. Is it still swollen a fair bit?
Yeah.
Why don't you take it out and show us?
Moved it through.
It's that, but also I'm not elevating as much anymore.
Yeah.
So I've got to do that. I got to do something. I got to ankle pumps. I got to compress
a lot
it a bit more.
A lot of that would also be just restricting the motion. You're just closing down joint space.
What's it called? What's the fucking
expansion?
You know when you sit in a plane and your ankle goes fat? What's the system? It's all the fluid.
It's lymphatic.
It's lymphatic drainage is what.
Lymphatic drainage.
So that's a big part of what I've got to do. I've got to compress it. And the way the lymphatic system works, Dan fucking was telling me the other day. But pretty much, it's like a pump system. I just got to
It's a mechanical pump from muscular contraction.
I learned about this at the Hartley's Crocodile Farm in and I'm gonna get to why. I'm gonna get to why in a second. I went to a snake show.
Wait, where's Hartley's Crocodiles?
Not what I was expecting.
In Port Douglas.
I was expecting some Facebook, some fucking podcast you listen to.
We went to Hartley's
You got to think
Crocodile
outside
Farm.
the box.
Hartley's Crocodile Farm in Queensland, in Port Douglas. Crazy. It was actually really good. Went to a snake show, and one of the parts of the snake show was how to bandage a venomous attack. And one of them is to stop the movement. So you got to, if you get bit in the arm, you wrap the whole
past
arm.
the elbow.
Yeah, you go past the elbow, you wrap the whole arm, stop any movement, because any movement promotes the pump of the lymphatic system, and the lymphatic system is how the venom is passed around the body.
That's on Hartley.
So Hartley sorted me on a physiology session. Physiology lesson. The one thing I found really funny about the Crocodile Farm, we went to 2 shows. Went to the snake show. We went to the crocodile attack show. They asked for questions. No adults ask questions. It's all like 5-year-olds, and they asked like, "There's no such thing as a dumb question."
They're 5 years old, man.
But
They're fucking dumb. It's all right.
But they're just the shit that they come up with. You're like, it's so impressive that you even thought of that.
Well, give us some. Come on.
Oh, like where do crocodiles poo from? like only a 5-year-old's gonna ask that question. Shit like that.
So you didn't have any questions?
I didn't ask any questions.
Charlie knows it all. Sorry.
But when they asked, were you like, oh, fuck?
Yeah, I want to know. Where does it poo from? They are massive. There was a 700-kilogram crocodile.
700.
Man, stupid. Like, even Eddie Hall couldn't lift that fucking. They're big animals, crazy animals, dinosaurs.
They are dinosaurs. I went to the.
Where do they poo from?
I don't know.
So you didn't listen to the answer?
I can't remember, man. We'll Google it.
They poo from their ass. Where else are they?
They've got. She said they got a hole. They got a hole. Some shit comes out. They got a hole.
At the tail or underside?
Underside.
There you go.
Sure.
Thorax.
When I was at the Steve Irwin farm, what's that? Australia Zoo? Is it
Australia
called?
Zoo, yeah.
The Steve Irwin farm.
And we, because recently went to a farm, a zoo, sorry. And they did the bird show.
Yeah.
And it was the same. I was just watching it was fucking cool. It reminded me of Harry Potter. Like, it looked just like Harry Potter. Like, there's hawks flying in, and they're like, and over there. And then there's comes in, and like, but the kids were just like,
They love it.
It's crazy.
It's kids see shit differently. Like, they've got no like filter. Like, they just see it. It's crazy.
Yeah, they got no anxiety. They're just
There's raw reactions, raw emotion.
But the reason it's a crocodile farm, it's actually a farm. They breed them, and they kill them for food and for handbags. It's a zoo as well, and for handbags too. And we went to the crocodile farm part, and there was a sign that said, if this doesn't align with your values or your beliefs, we please ask you to turn around kindly. Like, turn back around.
That's at the entrance.
That was at the entrance of the farm bit.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole zoo bit where they've got crocodiles that have lived like
kick
they've
it.
got like fucking 80-year-old
yeah.
crocodiles and shit. They just live. They've replicated like the Australian swamp area, and you go in a boat and they feed them and shit. They had there was one called Corner Girl.
Yeah.
Corner Girl. There was the guy had the
Croc
biggest
was called Corner Girl.
Corner Girl. Yeah, she sits on the corner. It was the biggest Aussie guy ever. The way given the tour,
So it wasn't a nickname. That was the name.
That's the name.
So I've named her Corner Girl.
Corner Girl and Michelle and Paulie. Some of the names are
Paulie
Michelle. But yeah, no, there was actually a farm, and I didn't realize. So, there's a farm,
Amazing.
and crocodile handbags, $4,000
Whoa.
in the shop. Yeah, no, they're like Louis Vuitton, better, more expensive.
Louis V.
Louis V.
Don't knows all about
Get a
that.
crocodile.
Yeah.
So get some crocodile shoes or
Don
something.
over there.
We'll go to Harley's. I'm going to Port Dougie soon. I'll get you a
Oh, yeah,
souvenir.
you're gonna go to the crocodile farm.
Yeah, all right. I'll suss it out.
Go see
No,
the
maybe I'll
crocodile.
get
Go see Michelle.
the scoop on where the poo
Go to the
comes from.
crocodile farm. You'll have to do some stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll have to do something.
You'll get if you just do nothing every day, you get a bit bored because there's only one strip.
Yeah. Brunch. Did I smash that, way? Easy.
With a bit of crocodile on the side.
Yeah.
Smash
No, go to the crocodile farm was fucking good. Animals.
Yeah.
I like
Maybe I'll
animals.
learn a bit more about the lymphatic system when I'm up there.
Physiology lesson. Anyway, that was how we
was
saw
it.
it. That was
All right.
Just circle back because we started from mobility.
ankle.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
It's circled again. The fitness industry. Hard circle. And I'm telling you, because we've gone from mobs
Mob ties.
and mobility and mobilizations. And it's gone from center of mass, which that's just the way of deep squatting. Like, you're not going to fucking get anyone, like, let's mobilize your ankle for half an hour to get the deep squat if they can't control center of mass. But on the other end, have you seen, like, Range of Strength and Jeff, the founder of Strength Culture? You boy?
Me?
Flexible? Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, I'm speaking to you.
Yeah.
You're
No.
not the founder.
Oh, no.
No,
yeah,
the
yeah,
Flexible's
The actual founder.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Show
Range
us-
of Strength.
Yeah, no.
All these guys.
I
No,
haven't
you haven't
seen
seen
it.
them?
No.
It's making a fucking wave again.
What?
Stretching.
Oh, really?
Stretching. It's coming back.
Right.
It's coming back. And they're like, if you think you can't gain flexibility without stretching, you're fucking wrong. You can. So I
They
reckon
normally,
the next thing,
when the ideas circle back around, though, there's normally a new thing that
A new
actually
take on
makes
it.
a little bit more sense. And they sort of circle back and it's like, oh, all right, yeah, I can kind of see
no,
that.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
It definitely does. And it's not just stretching for the sake of it. It's stretching, but then gaining strength
In
through
the
length.
end range,
It's
yeah.
gaining strength.
Is that?
Strength in the end range?
I remember Trent Pirihi. We spoke about this this was years ago about the stretching because he's positioning the actin and myosin filaments. So better length tension. Is that the concept behind it? Better length tension.
I think it would just be that you do open up. There's a neurological sort of change and it opens up a range and you just strengthen that end range.
So today before I squat, what am I stretching? Couch stretch.
So as.
Yeah.
Taint.
No, we'll sort you out. Just so as.
Oh, I want you to stretch me out.
I'll stretch you
I'm
out.
stretching me
All
out.
right, all right. The last topic we're going to talk about is David Goggins is actually in town. He's going to be doing presentations.
How do we get him on?
How do we get him on? What is the plan? Let's right now. We're going back to the meeting. How do we get David Goggins on the podcast?
I reckon we use Ethan as a Trojan
We need
horse.
Ethan. We need
And
Ethan.
challenge him in some way. And then, I don't know, get him down here.
Kidnap him.
I don't think he could be
I
kidnapped.
don't think you could
Nah.
kidnap him.
Goggins.
You
He's
can
a
maybe
Navy SEAL.
kidnap him.
He would
and
say that as a challenge.
and he'd kill
Challenge accepted. Let's kidnap Goggins.
He would He would kill you.
That's got to be the title of the podcast. Kidnap Goggins. I reckon Ethan. Get Ethan to bait him.
Bait him with a carpool. Hey, you want to come pull this car for 4 days?
He'd do it.
Do you reckon David Goggins would see a trip to Australia as pleasure or as another challenge?
Everything's a challenge.
Everything's a challenge.
Yeah,
He doesn't-
like-
he doesn't do
So would he
pleasure.
come in and be like, oh, look, I'm probably not going to do
He's
any
not on
fucked up
holiday.
shit
He's
while
not.
I'm
He's
here.
not taking a week off.
No, so he would talk,
Like,
but then he would do something.
I reckon we do the GVT with him with the hot wings. That's a good challenge for him.
do you reckon?
Nah, we can do better than that. We
When
can
I
do
hop
better
on the
than that.
plane to go overseas, I'm like, chill out, red wine, watch a movie. What do you reckon David Goggins does?
He fucking calluses the mind.
I'm
mate.
using this time not to sleep. The whole plane. It's another challenge. Like, he would not surely kick back and relax.
I don't know. I feel like that's not his sort of. It's not his jam. It's not-
Yeah,
do you reckon
what does he do on the plane?
Goggins.
He's not watching a movie.
I reckon he'd use it as an excuse not to sit. Like they want me to sit,
Yeah,
so I'm not
going
going to
stand
sit.
the whole time.
Like the seatbelt light comes on, he's like, nah, I'm not putting it on.
just standing in the aisle the whole time.
Do you reckon he's ever in the smashed avo or brunch?
Nah.
No way.
No way.
Brunch is not a functional.
No, brunch
It's
is not for
breakfast or
champion.
lunch. You can't do both. Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah, and you wouldn't go out to eat this.
It's meal one, meal two.
$25. Fucking no
Goggins.
way.
We're talking about a guy that sat in his own feces in a bathtub and enjoyed it.
So he's definitely not eating the
He's not
smashed
eating
avo.
brunch.
He doesn't take me as a brunch kind of guy.
Not
No.
a brunch.
Fuck,
So we can't
no.
take him out to brunch. That's not going to work. We've got to
Yeah.
get Ethan involved. That's what
We'll get him down Bayside Merry Men. We'll take him there. Smashed avo, eggs on toast, bit of
Surely-
rhubarb.
Is he too big for us? No, he's-
Yeah.
Look, he's pretty big. He's pretty big.
100%.
He's pretty big, Charlie.
But it's a good challenge to try and swing him.
I reckon there'll be someone listening. There'll be a couple of people listening to this now that won't know who he is.
David Goggins?
Nah.
No
Nah.
way.
Nah.
All
Everyone
right,
knows
shout.
David Goggins.
You've
We've
got
a
to.
few. There's a few people that listen to this,
Bro, he's
No, but
he's been on Joe Rogan like 3 times.
But we
I know what you mean, but
there'll be
I would
one.
be very surprised if someone doesn't know who David
It has
Goggins
to be
is.
like
I
quite
think
old.
it'll be the minority, like
Yeah.
the
That'd be
very
quite old.
small
I'm
minority.
not saying everyone. I'm saying there'll be a couple that will be like, oh, who's this David Goggins guy? And they'll go listen to him now and be like, their mind.
Oh,
So what you're saying is we've done
Their
David
mind
Goggins
hole will be blown.
a fucking solid by sending him more followers. So in exchange,
so
brother,
get
come on the
him on the
podcast.
podcast.
you know?
It's like of the 500 listeners,
Maybe 5 of
3.
them? Yeah.
I honestly reckon 3.
we get way more than 500 listens, by the way. But
all right.
we get 40.
Come on, boys,
40,000.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't know the details.
Don't undersell us, man.
I don't know the fucking numbers.
so what you
How many listens we get?
if you got to 50
4K.
a few.
4K.
If we get to if you got to
Ultra.
53 minutes and you don't know who David Goggins is, please let us know.
David.
Did I just
You
say
said David.
David.
All right,
David
done.
Goggins.
This is done. This is done. We'll see you, David, next week.
David Doggins.